What would you do if a 6-year-old barefoot girl stepped in front of your presidential convoy and told you to stop, or you'd never come back alive? This is not just a story. This is a moment that tested power, purpose, and prophecy, and it changed the future of a nation. Stay with me till the end, because what happened next will shake you. The sun was rising gently over the land of Burkina Faso. It was a beautiful morning, the kind that promises peace. Birds chirped in the trees. A convoy of shiny black vehicles cut through the countryside, slicing through the silence. At the heart of it, President Ibrahim Traoré, seated in his armored vehicle. Dressed in traditional attire, eyes on state documents, voice calm but firm. "We must reach the capital in 2 hours. This meeting, it's the future of our country. I must not be late." "Yes, Your Excellency," replied Traoré's personal assistant. The driver pressed the pedal. The guard stayed alert. All was smooth, until it wasn't. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a tiny figure stepped onto the road. "Hey, what's that?" one of the guards shouted. The driver slammed the brakes. Tires screeched. Dust flew. The entire convoy jolted to a halt. A child, no more than 6 years old, torn dress, dusty face, bare feet, but her eyes, they didn't blink. "I need to see the president," she said. "It's urgent." The guards stared in disbelief. Some laughed. Others warned her off. "Move! Do you want to die? This is the president's convoy." But the girl didn't flinch. "Please, do not pass this road. Wait here for 2 hours." President Traoré stepped out, irritation growing. "What is going on here?" You must wait. If you pass now, you won't return." The girl replied, pointing at him. The guards burst into laughter. A child giving orders to a president? But the president was not laughing. "I saw it in my dream. Fire, screaming, death. You were there." Silence fell. One of the guards scoffed. "This is nonsense. What if she's a distraction? A trap?" But the girl stood firm. "A goat does not run in the daytime for nothing," she said. The president blinked. His hands trembled. That proverb, it struck deep. President Traoré turned away angrily. "I've waited years for this deal. I will not stop for the dreams of a child." But the girl called out again. "Even a lion pauses when the antelope refuses to run." The words stopped him. Danger doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. If you move now, you will not return. His guards looked shaken. The assistant whispered, "Sir, this child, she's not ordinary." The president sighed. He turned back toward her. "Who are you?" "My name is Treasure. I have no mother, no father. I sleep under the tree by the old well. But I saw the dream, and I came to stop you." President Traoré's voice broke. He stared into her eyes. "Cancel the journey," Traoré commanded. "We wait. 2 hours." And so, the convoy stopped, in the middle of nowhere, on the word of a barefoot orphan. Time dragged. The sun grew hotter. Calls came in. Frustrated voices from overseas. "Your Excellency, if you're not here in 90 minutes, the deal goes to another country," one of the callers said. The guards muttered again. "Sir, you're the president. You cannot be delayed by a street girl." President Traoré snapped. He stormed toward Treasure. I'm done listening. I'm leaving now." Treasure stood. "Please, wait. You're too small to stop a president," one of Traoré's aides said. Treasure looked him dead in the eyes and said, "A big man who refuses to listen to a small warning becomes the loudest cry in the graveyard." Silence. Even the wind paused. 2 hours passed, and suddenly the assistant's phone rang. "Your Excellency, a petrol tanker exploded just 40 minutes ahead. Over 70 vehicles and 2 buildings caught fire. Buses, bikes, cars, all gone. No survivors, not even one." The guards gasped. The assistant dropped his phone. The president stumbled out of the car. He looked at Treasure. She was still sitting on her stone, silent, still, waiting. "You saved my life." "It wasn't me, it was the dream. I was just afraid of what would happen if I didn't speak." Back in the capital, the palace staff watched in awe. The president walked in, hand in hand with a small girl, her feet still dusty, her dress still torn. He gathered everyone, officials, guards, media. This girl stood before death and saved us all, with no money, no shoes, no title, just her voice and courage. He turned to her. From today, she is no longer an orphan. She is my child. Her name is Treasure, and she is the treasure of Burkina Faso. The room erupted in emotion. Guards wept. Ministers clapped. The assistant hugged her. Treasure smiled. For the first time in her life, someone had called her daughter. The next day, the nation watched. The president appeared on national television holding the little girl in his arms. He told the full story, the warning, the accident, the miracle. And across the country, people cried. In villages and cities, people repeated her words. Even a lion pauses when the antelope refuses to run. A big man who refuses to listen to a small warning becomes the loudest cry in the graveyard. Treasure became a national symbol. Treasure began school. She wore new clothes. She laughed with new friends. And when people asked her how she became the president's daughter, she simply said, "I just spoke what I saw in my dream." Because sometimes, all it takes to change the course of history is a voice. Not loud, not powerful, just true. Dear viewer, no voice is too small to save a life. No leader is too big to listen. Sometimes it's not about leading louder. It's about listening deeper. If this story moved you, share it with someone. Let Hope's voice reach the world. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next story might just save another life.